Okay.
Well, she worked at the
No.
Hello, everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming today. It's what a blessing to get Jack Baxter back to Maine and gather all you folks together to honor him this time in his life. And I just was, he came back for his reunion at Bowdoin and said, hey, I don't know when I'm coming back. And because they were screening our film at the Frontier Cafe on my birthday today, I said, Dad, the thing I want for my birthday is for you to come to Maine, because this is my dream. You have all realized my dream of honoring my dad while he's alive. It's a lot more fun to do it while he's alive than to have a memorial service after he leaves. And so I did this for my mother. In 1999, we brought her back to Brunswick and spent 3 months here and had a lovely gathering just months before she died. So it was, I just feel, you know, honor thy father and thy mother, and honor thy father and thy mother, and you have allowed me to do that. So I may rest in peace. And what we're doing here is also honoring the ancestors. We have a picture of the Comey family, my mother's family, and there's Comey cousins here, the Comey contingents, my cousin Libby and Debbie, and her Debbie's husband Bill, and her former husband Steve Copperthwaite, and who else from the Comey clan? And then we have, oh yes, Lee Johnson, Liz's husband.
You're going to keep going?
Well, maybe.
You're going to be impressed.
Who else did I miss?
Don't forget Bill.
Bill, I did. I said Bill.
I'm sorry.
I said Bill already. I said Bill already. And so we have pictures of the ancestors. Well, Alice was gone already, and her mother and father and all that. That whole family is here represented by the photography. And we are honoring the Baxter ancestors, who are here in this other photograph of all the Baxters who've gone before. Because if it weren't for the ancestors, we all wouldn't be here, right? And all these Indians that I hang out with, they're always honoring the ancestors. So here we are. We've brought them here, and we be thankful to them for who we are today. And I would like to say that I am who I am today because of Jack Baxter and his influence on me, and the whole Baxter family influence, the mandate to make the world a better place. And you'll see that I'm out with my partner Andrew Bailey, out making the world a better place. We've just produced a film on the origin and future of humanity that's going to be screened tonight at the Frontier Cafe, which gave catalyst to all this day. And so I'm carrying on and honoring the vision of our ancestors. And in fact, I want you guys to keep alert, because there are plans brewing to create a symposium at Bowdoin College next year to create an endowment to honor a student who lives up to the Baxter vision of James Finney Baxter and Percival Baxter, what they brought to their lives in office as politicians, as white, wealthy, male, Republican politicians. These guys lived in their hearts and acted in their hearts in their personal and political careers. And I feel that they can be an inspiration to our government in the future, that you don't have to play the game that looks like the only game in town. You can, in fact, walk to the beat of a different drum in office and make policy that can honor the human heart and the human spirit and the animals and the water and the women and all the stuff that those guys did in office. And Dad followed in their footsteps as a politician and paved the way for me to work for the future of this country, instead of going outside of the nation, of who we are, and trying to break it down and create something else. My focus is to bring information that can transform it into what we really are intended to be as a nation and as truly free people who honor the human in spirit. So, that said, I do want to honor the Baxter family who's here, and Ruby White, Ruby Baxter White, and Scott Baxter, and Jane Baxter, Hartley Baxter's wife, Hartley being Jack's brother, and Eric Baxter over here, Scott's brother, and Jane's the mother of Eric and Scott, and Lonnie just left, Eric's partner, and who else is, David Baxter Moyer, who is a Baxter cousin, and Bob Morrill is a Baxter cousin. So James Finney Baxter had these litters of kids, 2 litters of kids, and the white contingent is descended from the Rupert Baxter line. We're from the Hartley Baxter line, and you're Bob Morrill's from the Hartley. Yeah, so we're close cousins, and you're from the Clinton Baxter line. And anybody else? Did I miss anybody else? And
Your daughter. Yeah.
my daughter, Allison Baxter Marlowe, who's the only representative of the next generation of Baxters. And so I carried on the Baxter thing by naming all my kids with their middle name Baxter, so they didn't know where they came from. And let's see, we have other husbands of Baxter folks, John Hayden, and Susie. Susie's a wife, right? You're Ruby's sister, right? Are you Ruby's sister? Your sister. So, and John Hayden is her husband, and anybody else in the Baxter line? And then we have the Pittsfield folks, all the wonderful people in Pittsfield who nurtured me and gave me so much to take out into the world, just from being unconditionally loved in Pittsfield, Maine. It's an incredible place to grow up. And we've brought Ryan Fendler, who's a wonderful friend and a nurturing friend, and Sylvia Lear Barry and her husband Dick Barry, and Annie McMichael, best friend Annie. And she's going to read a little something to honor me on my birthday, which is going to be fun to give you a little feeling for Pittsfield. And Mike Parker and his wife Carolyn. And Mike was a good friend of my brother Randy, who's not here. And I want to honor my brother Randy and my sister Judy, who aren't here. They would love to be here. But meanwhile, who have I missed?
Kenneth.
Who? Kenneth Lunk. That Lunk Chinket and his look-alike son, Eric. So these were all, and Bobby McMahon. Here's Bobby McMahon, who's the brother of my first boyfriend. And a good friend. And Dad and Ryan and Sylvia and Lunk, they were all part of the Mouse Pack. And they all raised hell together in their years. And I've missed Ronnie Lear, who's the son of Sylvia, and who's a peer of us. And last but not least, my cousin Julia French, who is from the Constance French. John Baxter married Constance French from Braintree. Honor my her grandfather was Constance French's brother. And what that did was it made love to be my generation, but generations Mayflower descendants, because Constance French was a Mayflower descendant of John and Priscilla Alden, and probably a lot of you are Mayflower descendants. But I'm doing a lot of work around the founding of America and the first 50 years in Plymouth of the Mayflower Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Indians. The untold story, Andrew and I are doing this work. So we're carrying on that mantle of the founders of this nation. And I did Mike and Carolyn.
Did you?
Yep. Oh. And I just wanted to mention Andrew Bailey, who has come into my life 5 years ago, and we just saw that we carried a common vision and common talents and interests, and all of everything that I've been doing for all my life has just spiraled up tremendously with Andrew coming into my life in a loving and supportive way and bringing his genius to my efforts. And if you get to come to the film tonight, you'll have some idea of what it is we're up to. We're bringing information to the table about the nature of the universe that isn't there in this way. So we think we're going to make a difference with how humanity walks on this planet. And so, that said, we will have a little word from Jack.
Oh dear.